President and the Vice President, colleague ministers past and present, colleague members of Parliament past and present, Council of GIMPA, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I deem it a great honor to be invited as a special guest of honor for today's function for two reasons. One, I'm representing His Excellency the President or the government on this occasion. And two, in my personal capacity as a friend of Professor Mills. Those of us who entered secondary school as Gold Coasters and in the same year became Ghanaians, we belong to that group. We entered secondary school as Gold Coasters, and in the same year we became Ghanaians. So I guess you two guessed the year. Professor Mills was my mate in Achimota School from Form 1 to Upper 6. But not only was he a mate, but we were in the same house, Cadbury House, and we were in the same dormitory. And my bed was next to his. And somehow, in the first 3 years, I was physically stronger than him. So I was his protector. But when we got to Form 4, somehow he became taller and bigger than me. So we ceased to be pals. Professor Mills is one man who, in the Achimota School history, was a member of the School 11 in all the games of the school. And Achimota School games includes swimming. There are a lot of games other schools don't know. Lawn tennis, cricket. I won't call the obvious ones, which all those of you were playing. I won't call those ones. Those typical English games were all played at Achimota School. And in each of them, Mills was in the school selection. We were going to do swimming. We selected 6 people. Professor Mills was one. Cricket, he was one. Long tennis, he was one. But the most important, in volley, he was so powerful in volley that I was his cheerleader. I didn't play anything. But Mills would not go to any game without his friend Yao, because I was organizing the cheering. And I cheered him up properly. He was a very good student, and one of those who we describe as all-round students. He's good in sports, games, entertainment, everything. But he was also a first-class academic student. But in the classes, we share one thing. He taught me Latin, and then I taught him mathematics in our early days. Anytime we are doing Latin, I'm with Prof. When he has quadratic equations to solve, he is with him. So we got on very, very well. He was an art student. I was a science student. We were therefore not surprised that Professor Mills attained his PhD at the age of 27. And obviously, at Achimota School, he was a renowned games prefect. It was obvious from Form 5. From Form 5, Professor Mills played hockey for the national team. He was in the national team in Form 5. Played for academicals. Name it. But you get to the classroom, you also beat him. That's the difference between Mills and many others. There were many people who were very good academically, but like me, they didn't do anything on the field. They didn't do anything on the field. But I played a role of a cheerleader. And I did it very effectively. From day one, we had a difference. Professor Mills was a strong supporter of Accra House of Oak Secondary School, Phobia, and I was a strong supporter of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. When we grew up, both of us became directors of our respective clubs. I was director of Kotoko, he was director of Hearts. He went further to become chairman. And when we met at the stadium, Hearts Kotoko, we turned our heads in the opposite direction until the match was over because we were nervous about the results. But Prof is a good man. But none of us thought that he would get into politics. At school, in terms of behavior, in terms of his involvement, there was nothing political about Fifi. He was a peacemaker, the type of person who doesn't want any confusion, the type of person who would make sure that everything is done on time and done right. And when you talk about voting for a prefect, he will even be upset. At Qantas School, we vote for our senior prefect. Mills never voted. So there was nothing really political about him. It came, therefore, as a surprise when finally, through the Swedro Declaration, Professor Mills became the running mate of President J.J. Rawlings. Professor Mills was a great patriot. When he left to study, it is on record that he became a Fulbright scholar at Stanford Law School after his PhD, and was one of the people who ran quickly home to come and serve. And he came to lecture, and for 25 years, he was associated with our Faculty of Law. And I think those of you who did law know what Mills stood for as a lecturer. His knowledge on company law and taxation pushed him beyond the pure law. Professor Mills' demonstration of deep financial knowledge in taxation made him a member of the Ghana Stock Exchange Council, Management Committee member, Commonwealth Administrative and Tax Experts, United Nations Ad Hoc Committee experts in international cooperation on tax matters, and United Nations Law and Population Project. He was also a board of trustee, Mines Trust. In 1988, as I said, Professor Mills became the commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, and he carried out a lot of good reforms for our revenue. If you see the structure of our revenue today, the fundamental structure was laid down by Professor Mills. I became the Minister of Finance. I was responsible for revenue, and I followed up what Mills did in the Internal Revenue Service, and I was very proud that he was a friend. Professor Mills, in 2001, no, in 1996, as I said, was the running mate of President J.J. Rawlings. He won the elections and became the vice president in 1997. And he decided to also contest, and he contested about 3 times as a candidate. And he finally won and became president of this dear republic of ours in 2008 elections. You may recall that when he was campaigning, he publicly said that if he won the elections, he would make Osafo Maafo his Minister of Finance. He said it publicly. It shows you his nature. He knew that I was deeply involved in the other side. But he didn't, to him, it didn't really matter. Like, he was thinking more about Ghana than politics. So I met him and I said, Mills, if you don't take care, then these guys will beat you up. Stop talking like that on the platform. After he had said that, I said, no, don't say that. It's not politics. There are guys who are interested to become ministers of finance. If you go saying that, people will beat you up. And he laughed. That is Mills. He believes in his conviction. Whether right or wrong. He stands for certain things and he believes in it. I feel happy today that on the 5th occasion we are commemorating Professor Mills. His legacy is simple. Straightforwardness, honesty, non-confrontational. Mills does not believe in confrontation. In school, he never quarreled with anybody. And no matter what he did to him, he will still stand on the stand. He may walk away quietly because he disagrees with you, but he wouldn't be confrontational. No doubt, as part of this nature of his, the whole nation conferred on him as Modehene. It became a general accolade as Modehene. Prof. Fifi, your friend is here to bid you on your 5th anniversary.